Hello students, chapter 4, Animal Kingdom. This is video number 2. The first video which I had made was on the basis on which classification is done. We had discussed the different bases on which classification is done. In this video, we will be talking about the different phylums. Children, Animal Kingdom is divided into 11 phylums. In this video, I have taken the first 9 phylums which comes under invertebrates. The next video will be on the remaining 2 phyla, that is Hemichordata and Chordata. Now, let us start with the first phylum of the animal kingdom, that is Porifera. Porifera, phylum Porifera, it is commonly known as sponges. All organisms here are marine. They are asymmetrical. They are primitive multicellular with cellular level of organization. In video 1, I have discussed all these terms. So if you have not seen the video 1, please see to it first. Then you will understand these terms, what is asymmetrical, what is cellular level of organization. The sponges, they have a water transport or canal system. There are many small openings called ostia present on the body wall of the sponges through which the water enters inside the body cavity, and the body cavity is known as spongiocele. And there is one big opening known as ostia through which the water goes out. See, this is the internal structure of a sponge. You can see over here the pore. These pores are known as what? Ostia. Water enters through this ostia. You can see my cursor, follow the cursor. Water enters through this ostia. This is the body cavity, the central body cavity. And from here, this is the osculum. The water goes out, the opening. Now next, water enters, I told you, through ostia. With the water comes in the food. The food also enters through the ostia. These porifera, they have a special cell known as choanocyte or collar cell. These choanocyte or collar cells are present in the spongiocele. They produce digestive juices and helps in digestion. The digestion here is intracellular digestion. See, these are the collar cells. These all cells are the collar cells. These cells are the collar cells. These collar cells have flagella and they produce digestive juice in this cavity, and the food is digested here. Body of the porifera sponges are made up of spicules. They are hermaphrodite. They reproduce internal and development is indirect, having larval stage. See, these are the sponges. Now we come up to the second phylum, that is phylum Coelenterata, which is also known as Cynidria. Organisms of this phylum are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile and free swimming, radially symmetrical animals. Now, the word Cynidria is derived from a cell present in their body known as cynidoblast cells. These cnidoblast cells are present in the tentacles. They are stinging cells. They can sting the prey and they use it as their defense. Let me show you if I can see. These are the cnidoblast cells, this cell. It is present in the tentacles. Now, digestion is partly extracellular and partly intracellular. Now, in their body, these organisms have tissue level of organization, and they are of two types, children. One is polyp and the another is medusa. Polyp is sessile, cylindrical form. For example, Hydra, Adamsia, that is polyp. And medusa is free living and it is an umbrella shape, that is in Orilla. Let me show you. See, this is the polyp stage. Either the organism can be in this shape, so we call it as polyp. This is sedentary. They don't move, they are present at one place. And this is the medusa stage. You can see it's an umbrella type of shape. So this is a medusa stage. And there may be organisms which have both the stages. Like Hydra is only polyp. Adamsia is only medusa. But there are organisms in Cnidria, in phylum Cnidria, which may have both the stages. Like for example in Obelia. Obelia, you will find both the stages, polyp as well as medusa. See, this whole structure is the polyp stage. This is the asexual stage, sessile stage. Sessile means they cannot move. This asexual sessile stage of Obelia, it produces medusae. These are the medusae. You can see they are producing medusae. This is the sexual stage. Now, these medusae, they produce ova. This ova fuses to form zygote, and again the zygote divides to form the polyp stage. So there is an alteration of generation. See, these are some examples of Cnidria. This is jellyfish. You know, jellyfish is the medusa state. Sea anemone, these are the corals. Now coming to the third phyla, that is the Ctenophora. They are commonly known as sea walnuts. They are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic with tissue level of organization, body bare, and external row of ciliated plate that help in locomotion. Let me show you. See, these, can you see over here? This is the plates, row of plates. This helps in locomotion, which is known as what? Kidneys. Their digestion is both extra and intracellular. Bioluminescence is seen, means they produce light. That means bioluminescence. Sexes are separate. Reproduction by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Indirect development means, children, that it will produce larvae. Example, Pleurodontia and Ctenoplana. Let's come up to the fourth. See, these are the organisms of Ctenophora. You can see it's producing light. So it's showing bioluminescence. Next, fourth phylum, that is Platyhelminthes. Children, helminthes means worm, worm-like. And platyvert means dorsoventrally flattened. So they are dorsoventrally flattened body, and hence they are known as flatworms. They are generally endoparasites. They are found in animals as well as in human beings. Their body is bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, aceromate, and they have organ level of organization. Now, because they are endoparasite, they have hooks and suckers present so that they can stick to the body of the host. Let me show you here. See, you can see the hook and suckers, which helps them to stick to the body of the host. Some of them absorb nutrient from the host directly through their body surface. Excretion takes place with a special type of cell known as flame cell. This flame cell has two functions. One is osmoregulation, another is excretion. Osmoregulation means maintaining ionic and water balance in the body. Let me show you the structure of flame cell. This is a flame cell. See, flatworms use flame cell to excrete waste. Many flame cells come together to form a net of tubule. You can see this whole row. This is the flame cell. Tubule collect waste and excrete them through the pores. This is showing the flame cell in planaria. Sexes are separate, fertilization is internal, and development is through many larval stages. You have studied in class 10 that planaria has high regeneration capacity. Planaria comes under Platyhelminthes. Example, Taenia, that is tapeworm, and liver fluke, that is fascicula. See, this is blood fluke. Blood fluke also is an example. And this is tapeworm. Now, phylum number 5, Aschelhelminthes. Again, children, helminthes means worm, and Aschelhelminthes means when you take a cross section of these organisms, it is round, so they are commonly known as roundworms. They are free living, aquatic, terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animals both. They have organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomate. Again, I am telling you, if you all have not seen video 1, please see to it. All these terms have been explained there. Alimentary canal is complete. Complete means it has two openings, mouth and anus. Food enters through mouth and undigested food goes out through anus. And it has a well-developed muscular pharynx. Excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through excretory probe. Sexes are separate. Male and female are separate. Often females are longer than male. Fertilization is internal and development is direct. Or it can be indirect also. Examples, Ascaris, roundworm, Wucheria, filarial worm, and hookworm, Ancylostoma. See, this is roundworm, Ascaris, the male and the female. Female is longer, it is turned. This is hookworm. Hookworm, they produce some skin problems, you can see over here. This is filarial worm. It causes disease known as elephantiasis, where your lymph nodes swell, your limbs swell and become like elephants. Now, phylum number 6. Phylum 6, it is metamerically segmented. Phylum 6, Annelida. It is metamerically segmented body. Segments looking like rings, so-called annelids. It's a true coelom is present. Triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical, organ system level of organization. Body covered with cuticle secreted by ectoderm. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles. They have, for locomotion, they have CT on the lower side. And this CT, on some CT, there are some appendages, lateral appendages present, which is known as parapodia. Movement takes place through parapodia. Alimentary canal has both mouth and anus, so the digestive system is complete. Their excretion takes place through nephridia. Example in this comes earthworm, Hirudinaria nivis. Let me show you. See, these are the nivis, leech, earthworm. This is the parapodia or CT through which it moves. Now next phylum, phylum Arthropoda. This is phylum number 7. It is the largest phylum in Animalia that includes insects. See, all insects come under this phylum. Cockroach, scorpion, locust, centipede, many more. The body of Arthropoda is covered by a chitinous exoskeleton. You can see a cockroach, it's covered with a exoskeleton, the outside skeleton that is made up of chitin. Body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen. The respiration may take place through gills, book lungs or tracheal system. There are sensory organs like antenna, eyes, maybe compound eyes or simple eyes. There is statocysts, which are the balance organs. Excretion takes place through malpighian tubule. All these butterflies, stick insect, army ant, they all come under arthropods. Now phylum Mollusca. It is the second largest phylum. Organisms are triploblastic, coelomate, bilaterally symmetrical. It may be terrestrial or aquatic. Body is surrounded by calcareous skin, calcareous shell, except for octopus. There may be internal shell also, like in sepia. Body is unsegmented, children, and it is divided into head, muscular foot, and a dorsal visceral hump. Now, there is a skin over this visceral hump and it forms a mantle. Let me show. See, this is a diagram of a mollusk. You can see this is the mouth, this is the digestive system, these are the gills, and over here, if you can see, this is the calcareous shell. Just below the calcareous shell, there is a skin fold which is known as mantle. Mouth has a rasping organ called radula. Here, the mouth has a rasping organ over here called radula. So this is the structure of a mollusk. These are the different mollusks: octopus, sepia, land snail, pearl oyster, which produces pearls, unio, chitin. Now the last phylum, phylum number 9, Echinodermata. Echino means spines, dermata means skin. Spines are there. So ectoderm bears spines. Ectoderm means skin bears spines. So echinodermata. Marine, triploblastic, coelomate. Adults are radially symmetrical. Larvae is bilaterally symmetrical. Mouth is on the lower side and anus is on the upper side. Then they have a water vascular system with radiating tubes like appendages called the tube feet, which helps in locomotion, capturing of food and respiration. Let me show you. See over here. This is known as madreporium. Madreporium. This is the anus towards the upper surface. Mouth is on the lower part of it. Now, this is a starfish, and in every arm you can see there is a radial canal. And the radial canal is having so many tube feet. The water gets filled up in the tube feet, and this helps in locomotion as well as taking in food. Now, all these canals, these radial canals, is joined with a central canal, and the central canal opens outside by the madreporium. These are the different echinodermatans. See the starfish, sea urchin, sea cucumber, feather star. So these are the brittle star. They are the different types of starfish. So children, in this video you have seen the different phyla. We have studied about the different phyla. And in the next video of invertebrates, in the next video we'll be doing hemichordata and chordata.